Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. I just did a whole podcast and thought that I paused it while I was picking up dog poop. And I'm sitting there picking up dog poop and struggling with trying to get the poop bag open and realizing that later on, I realized that I did not pause the tape. I just kept that rolling. So I recorded that whole thing. And although I definitely don't edit stuff and I don't, usually care what stuff is in the background, I figured you guys wouldn't want about, a minute of me wrestling with poop bags, picking up dog poop. I don't think that's what you tuned into. I feel like, it's probably not something you think is too cool. So I didn't record it. I'm starting over. But I'm a little bummed because now I have less time. I'm kind of on a time limit. So I feel a little rushed. And I don't like to feel rushed, man. I'm very much a go at my own pace kind of gal. But what I wanted to say was, before I do forget, shout out to Singapore. Whoever has been listening in Singapore, they are my second highest listener. And I appreciate you. I appreciate, what up, Singapore? My kids went there, thought it was absolutely amazing. They couldn't handle the humidity because, we're Oregonians and humidity is not something we're used to. So that was a little bit difficult, but they loved Singapore. So shout out. And shout out to everybody, no matter what country you're from. I really want to get back to Hong Kong. Shout out to Hong Kong just for being fucking awesome. People there, if you want amazing people, if you want to meet the most kind, sweet, funny, respectful, helpful people, go to Hong Kong. I feel really bad that China took them over and China decided to take them back because America just kind of left them out to dry. I'm pretty pissed at America for letting Hong Kong get taken back to, I know it's already been part of China, but, they were doing their own thing. And then now they got thrown back to the wolves. And I'm sorry, but I absolutely want to go back to Hong Kong. The people there are just beyond amazing. And in fact, I haven't traveled in forever. I would love to go. But there are so many people who have been listening from all different countries. And man, I greatly appreciate it. Speaking of different countries, right now, the Australian Open's going on. And I was very, very disappointed because there was a reporter that was only doing this to American competitors, only the American. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know who these people are in tennis. I love tennis. I like playing it, but I don't ever watch. I used to watch matches back in the day. I know old tennis players, but I don't know the names of any of these new ones. But there were two men and a woman, and this reporter just would not stop asking the American competitors, so you're here from America. What do you think about what's going on in your country right now? Like, what do you think about what America is doing right now? Do you agree with it? Now, keep in mind, these people need to be in a certain mindset. They have to be in a certain mindset. They have to have their head in the game. And what does that have to do with tennis? What kind of question is that? What on earth does that have to do with tennis? And why are you trying to get them out of the headspace that they need to be in? And why is anyone talking about America, especially if you're from the UK? And this guy sounded like he had an accent from somewhere over there. And because I know I'll get in trouble if I say England, because England is part of the UK and I don't know what accent, like Tennessee has a different accent than Texas, has a different accent than Alabama, different accent than Oklahoma. And I know depending on where you're from in the UK or depending on where you're from in England, there's different accents. But this guy was from somewhere over there. And I don't know, why he felt it necessary to bombard these people with constant questions about basically how shitty their country is when they're representing their country, when they're there to compete. He didn't ask anything about tennis, but I don't like it when people from countries that aren't doing well, Australia, the UK, you guys have, right now, you guys have a bunch of also protests going on. You're also protesting. And Canada, your country's not so fucking awesome either. I say this all the time. I can't stand it when countries that are shittier than America or have the same things going on that America does, and somehow we're the crappy country. We're so crappy that everyone wants to move here. We're so crappy that everybody needs our military to defend them. We're so crappy that everybody needs our money to bail their asses out. That's how crappy we are. And if you have a bunch of Muslims taking over your country and a bunch of illegal immigrants taking over your country, England, I don't think you should open your mouth, really. I think you should, as Will Smith would say, keep America out your mouth. Keep America out your fucking mouths, everybody. Honestly, I don't want to hear it. We are not under a dictatorship, okay? We do not starve people in our country. Our country is obese. We have a bunch of obese, dumb fucking people, okay? So we're not starving our people. Even our homeless people eat better than people in some countries do. Even our homeless are better taken care of than people in communist dictatorship countries. And I just think that England and Canada really need to stop talking, and Australia. I'm sorry, but you guys don't have room to talk. I'm dissing on the government, not the people. I've heard Australian people, I've met Australian people and Canadian people, and people from all countries, I'm sure, are amazing. So I'm talking about the government. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the government. And I am talking about the people that make stupid fucking comments like that reporter did. Who is he to ask questions about America and what's going on in America during a competitive time that they are trying to have their head in a certain headspace? Why? Why do that? What is the point? So frustrating. Oh, but it's funny to me too, again, when people are like, oh, stereotypes. I've said this before. Stereotypes usually started for a reason. Maybe back in the day, blondes really were stupid, slutty people. I don't know if they're real blondes or not, because people tend to lump people that are fake blonde into that, but maybe they were. Maybe that's how that stereotype started. Or maybe that's just how they were always portrayed. Marilyn Monroe was not the sharpest tool in the shed, and she seemed to swing around her, good looks. And that's fine. If you have good looks, I'm not against people using it. If you're pretty, that's great. Good for you. I'm just saying that stereotypes are usually started for a reason. And it doesn't mean that they're true to this day. It doesn't mean that everybody is that way. All black people don't know how to dance. And I'm sure not all black people have a big ding dong. And I'm sure not all Asians have a small one, And I'm sure that there's a stupid Asian out there somewhere. And there's probably a lot of non-slutty, intelligent blondes. So it's a stereotype. And the stereotype that America is just somehow this country that is just full of only rich people, though. I don't know. I think that just became a thing because we are richer than a lot of other countries. And even our poor people have more than other countries. But that doesn't mean we're without our problems. Of course we have problems. And of course it's okay for other countries to talk about the problems that America has, because we aren't perfect. We certainly aren't perfect. And there certainly are other countries that have things that are better or that do things better. But people also forget that I get tired of us getting people going, well, look at how Sweden and Norway do it. Okay, their country can fit inside both the countries. You could take Scandinavia, Norway, and Denmark and throw them probably inside of fucking Texas and Alaska. I mean, I don't know the actual, But my point is they're teeny tiny countries. And what works in a teeny tiny country isn't going to work in a gigantic country. I think people from other countries don't understand how gigantic America is, and that each state is totally different. Each state has different things to offer. We are a country that has mountains, rivers, lakes, valleys, oceans, deserts. We literally have every single type of landscape. Well, I guess we don't really have jungle, but we have rainforests. So you can't really lump us all. We've got a lot of things that work in other countries won't work in ours. We're too big. But I just get tired. I get tired of people picking on, and then people are like, Somalia is not a crap hole. Yes, it is. Why does nobody want to live there? Look at the economy. Look at the IQ. Look at the literacy. I'm sorry, but when you have a crappy country, just admit it. If you have a bunch of ignorant people that are uneducated and your economy is absolutely horrible and you're going around killing people, South Africa, what's going on in South Africa? There's going around killing Christians, killing white people, getting away with it, thinking it's cool. I love that President Trump put what's his butt. I'm not educated enough, and I admit that I'm not educated enough to know the name of the guy that is running South America. I don't know if he's considered a president or a prime minister. I admit that I'm not educated and I need to look it up. But I love that President Trump called him out on national TV and be like, oh, really? You're not killing people? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you are. Here, look, we'll put it on TV. But what I don't like is when CNN and all these news anchors and all these quote, quote, journalists only put part of something. They put a little bit, or they edit the crap out of something, and then other people fall for the bait. Because they should trust the media. They should be able to trust the media. But the elderly don't know any better. They don't know you can't trust the media. But again, what is it with all of these teachers deciding that it is okay for children to protest and hold up signs that say, fuck ICE, and hold up signs, well, it says F, and then it has the little asterisk, and then CK. But you have, these are kindergartners. They were kindergartners sitting on the side of a very busy street, right on the curb of a busy street during school when they're supposed to be in school. Don't know that the parents knew about it. I have no idea if the parents knew about it. Didn't seem like it, because it seemed like when parents found out about it, they were pretty pissed. So it seems like it was also kept secret. Now, they're supposed to be in school. Oregon already has a bunch of dumb shits. America already is illiterate. We're like number 14. That is shameful. I looked it up the other day. We're number 14 in literacy. 14. There are 13 other countries that can read better than Americans. That is disgusting. That's deplorable. We should not be 14. And I didn't look it up, but I know we're fat as fuck. And now we're sitting here saying that Oregonians don't have to read or write or speak English or know basic math to graduate. Now you've got them out there protesting. And you're also taking away parents' rights, because you're also saying that if they claim that they want a gender-affirming surgery or they want to get on hormones, they don't have to tell their parents. Oh, no, don't tell the parents. No, we're teachers. They have the same thing that Don Lemon thinks, that because he's a journalist. Oh, no, I'm a journalist. I can pull over people. I can arrest people. I can say and do and go anywhere I want. I could go to Area 51 if I want, because I'm a journalist, so I can go wherever. I can look at confidential files from the president. I can look at classified files, because, well, teachers seem to think they're the same. Teachers seem to think that they're counselors, they're psychiatrists, they're parents, and they seem to think that they're allowed to parade the children down, make them believe in things, talk about politics, talk about religion, talk about gender-affirming surgeries to our children. And liberals are okay with this. Liberals are like, hot damn. Tell my kids if Santa exists. Tell my kids if God exists. Tell my kids to be Democrat. Tell my kids to cut off their penises and breasts. Tell my kids to inject themselves with hormones that are irreversible and damaging. That is not what your job is as a teacher. If you're a teacher and you think this, you should not be a teacher. You shouldn't be around children. You should be kept as far away from children as possible, because you're psychotic. You don't like kids. You like kids so that you can mold them and manipulate them. Have your own fucking kids. Do you have kids? Most of these people I don't think have kids. They're just doing this to other people's kids because they're fucking gross and psycho. Get your own goddamn kids. Teach them what you want. Teach them to be hateful little monsters that run around in grocery stores throwing temper tantrums, run around in restaurants. Teach them to be monsters and hate everybody. Real good. Good parenting there. Great parenting. God, it's frustrating. It's disgusting, frankly, and I'm over it. It needs to stop. People need to quit hating on America. If you're not from this country, butt out. It's okay for you to have your feelings against America, hate America. That's your feelings. That's fine. But you don't need to be asking people at Wimbledon, or not Wimbledon, excuse me, no one should be getting questions while they are competing for a very big title, a very big, very important match. They're competing for a very important match to win a very important title, and they're not getting questions about that. You're not asking them about tennis. You're going to sit there as they're representing America. You want them to talk smack about America? What is wrong with you? I've been saying that a lot. I've been saying it way too much. What is wrong with you? We've got people that are saying that while ICE is out, they're going to come and pay a visit to the families because they know that they're alone and vulnerable. And this is okay. We have news reporters that are genuinely going out of their way to report misinformation and edited clips so people don't see the truth. It's just gross. It's so gross. And if you're a part of that, you're a nasty, nasty human. If you are part of that, you're not right in the head. You're just not. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to point it out. I don't believe, again, I'm not wrong because I don't want to mutilate children. I'm not a bad guy because I don't want to mutilate or abort children. I'm not a bad guy because I don't think it's my job or parent or teachers' jobs to be the parent. They're a teacher. They're not a parent. They don't get to do parental things. Have your own kids. But you don't get to be the parent. You're not right in the head. And me saying that is not terrible. And if you think that, you're one of those not right in the head people. And okay, but if my children were in school and you guys touched a hair on their head and I saw them outside protesting, oh my God, I would own you. I would absolutely own you. And I suggest every parent sue the absolute shit out of the school district. You should sue the crap out of the school district. Don't know if you can, don't know what I'm talking about. I'm totally ignorant on that, but I'm sure there's a way. You're endangering kids' lives. They're out on a busy fucking street, right on the curb. No permission slip. No permission slip. Gotta be illegal. Anyway, what's not illegal is listening to my podcast. That's not illegal. You can do it as much as you want. You can tell as many people as you want. Hey, check out Ramblings of an Insomniac. She goes on a tangent. She gets unhinged, but she brings it back around. And like I said, sometimes I talk family and relationships and just life. I'm not always unhinged. I'm not always yelling. I'm not always talking politics. I talk a lot about family. I talk a lot about life and relationships and addiction and parenting and all of that. So thank you so much for going on this journey with me. You guys rock. I appreciate it. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell everybody. Thank you so, so much. Until next time.